In the case of Miller versus Rasmussen, when it comes to 3-year-old Zaylee Rasmussen, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Rasmussen, you are not the father.
Wow.
Miss Miller.
She belongs to the streets.
Be respectful.
I'm sorry.
Miss Miller.
I'm sorry.
That's a lot of nerve considering the alternative is somebody that don't want nothing to do with you or your child.
I'm sorry.
Facts. Welcome to single motherhood. And the fact that she even celebrated that this man wasn't the father when this man clearly cares so much about his daughter or what he thought was his daughter is pure evil. You were taking this man's money. He was paying you child support because he thought that that was his kid. He thought that that was his daughter. And you're celebrating that. You're celebrating him being deceived and lied to this whole time because he thought that that was his child. Not only that, he gave you money to support that child. And God knows what you use that money on. Because most of these single mothers don't use the money that's given to them for child support for the kid. They don't do that. They spend it on dumb stuff like purses. You know, they go out to eat by themselves to luxurious restaurants. They go on trips. Example is Brittany Renner. She knew what she was doing when she trapped PJ Washington with that baby and extorted him for $200,000 a month for child support. She knew what she's doing. She knew what she was doing the whole entire time. So for you to be excited in this man's misery and be happy and do that in this courtroom, that is pure sick. That's evil. You're a succubus, thoughcubus spirit at best.
That's a lot of nerve.
He's in pain right now.
You just showed me where your priorities were right there.
I'm sorry.
Because I held out hope that you weren't just acting a fool because you so mad at him because he cheated on you that you would cheat your child out of a father. But that cheering you did, what you cheering? I'm a single mother with nobody that loves me or my child. What you cheering for?
Ooh. She bringing that pressure. Hey, judge is bringing that pressure. You about to be a single mother. You don't know who the father is. Now you got to go on Maury's show right after this show and try to figure out who the baby daddy is. But you're celebrating. You're celebrating a life of misery. What you think being a single mother is, you know, a happy life? You think that's going to be a happy lifestyle for you? Not even just for you, because it's not about your happiness. You see, when you decide to bring a child in this world, another human being in this world, your happiness really doesn't matter that much. It's your job to make your child happy, right? It's your job to give your child a good life and to give them both parents and to be loving. And then after you're done raising your child, then maybe you can focus on your happiness. But your job, your number one job right now is to be a parent. And now this little girl, this innocent girl who didn't choose to be in this world, is now going to have to live a life without a father. Now she's going to have her mother try to play both roles, a mother and a father, which y'all cannot do. It is impossible. You guys fail all the time. But you want to celebrate. Pure sick.
I'm not.
No, you were.
You're not. You're not. Really. Shall I rewind the clip? We caught you in 4K. This was you. You were like, yay. Oh my God, he's not the father. And so did your succubus, thoughcubus spirit mom that was sit down in that chair.
Here breaking down because he loves this child so much.
Look at him. crying.
I sit here day after day after day with women hoping a man would drive
Look at
16 miles to see their baby, much less 160 miles each way.
160 miles to see a kid that wasn't even his in the end. Some of these men out here wouldn't even drive 5-10 miles to see a woman. This dude drove 160 miles to see his child. And you lied to him because you knew the whole time he wasn't the father. You just hoped that he was. And you took advantage of him because you wanted the money. Be honest, single mothers. Y'all really don't love y'all children like that. Because if you loved your child, you wouldn't bring them in the world without a father. You wouldn't bring them in the world not knowing who the father is. I'm truly disgusted. Truly disgusted by this video. Truly disgusted.
And abide by a court order and sign a birth certificate and come day after day and week after week so they can grow visitation to have a relationship with the child. And you have no compassion for not just him, but for Zaylee. She's 3 years old. Now, he's not just gonna be heartbroken. We gotta break this news to her.
Yup.
And y'all over here cheering like it's a sport. This is this baby's life. And I ask you, where's this other man? I don't know.
Of course she doesn't know. Of course she doesn't know. Because when these women are getting smashed out, when they taking DNA samples from a bunch of different men, when they're going out to bars and they're getting drunk and they have these one-night stands, of course they're not gonna know who the baby daddy is. They don't keep track of that type of stuff. They don't care. All they care about is getting the sausage in the moment, feeling that emotion in the moment. That's all they care about. So why would she even know? She's a succubus spirit at best. She's a 304 at best. And she had the nerve to laugh. Like, this man has been in this girl's life for 3 years. Right? Now, this little girl which thought this was her father is not gonna it's not gonna be the same, because now you gotta break the news to her. This man is heartbroken. He is crying on the stand. And I sympathize for him because that's a lot to go through. Could you imagine raising a child and loving a child just to figure out that it wasn't even yours and you've been lied to and you have to pay child support for 3 years to something that isn't biologically yours? That is heartbreaking. Even if he decides to stay in this child's life, that is still a very heartbreaking thing to go through. This man will probably never trust a woman again. And I don't blame him at all.
And you know he don't want nothing to do with you.
Nothing.
Sitting up there cheering. Mr. Rasmussen, I am so sorry. I know this hurts you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Look at him, man. That's
I don't know what I'm gonna do. She's my whole world. Everything I do is for her. She was the reason I went to work every day.
I know you have a bond with her.
I feel like my whole world is in ruins now.
Oh.
You know what you need to do, my brother? And I know this is heartbreaking, but you need to take this woman to court. I'm not talking paternity court. You need to sue this woman and get that child support back. All that money you pay for child support, all them years, them 3 years, you need to get that money back. Okay? And hopefully you can find this video one day. Hopefully we can have a conversation one day. You know, we're going to get you right. We're going to get you right. Because a lot of us brothers have went through a heartbreaking, painful experience in our life. And I hate to see you go through this, man. This is very disturbing. I feel terrible. I honestly do. Because a lot of men want to have a family nowadays. You know what I'm saying? But you have paternity fraud. You have women putting down the wrong the wrong person. They just writing a random dude's name on the birth certificate. Now, whoever she writes on the birth certificate, no matter if he's the father or not, he has to pay that child support for 18 years. And guess what? They don't even do DNA test. They don't care. Whoever she writes down on that birth certificate is technically the father. That's how they see it. Whoever she writes down, that's a biological father. We're not gonna do any DNA tests and see if that's actually right. We're not gonna ask her any questions. We're not gonna interrogate her, because everything that she says, just because she's a woman, it's automatically true. That's what type of society we live in. So that's why you have men scared to not only approach women, but you have men scared to actually procreate with a woman. You have men scared to reproduce with a woman because stuff like this happens. Child support, paternity fraud. There's so many risks and factors that are involved with having a child. It's not like, okay, you find a woman, you marry her, boom, you get her pregnant, and that's just it. Y'all have a happy family, happy life. No, it's not like that anymore. So my brother, please, you got to take her to court, man. You got to take her to court. And hopefully you can get that child support money back. And hopefully you can move on with your life, because unfortunately, since you're not the father, you can't see that child anymore. You don't have any type of legal rights, or you're not our guardian. So that's what sucks the most. And I know you invested your time and you love her and stuff like that, but you got to move on, my brother. You got to move on.